barely see you. That's good, thank you. Just, move around every once in a while so I know you haven't frozen to death. That'll be important. That'll make me feel better anyway. What I'd like you to do is sit back and relax. Maybe cozy up to somebody you know in order to keep warm. And if you happen to be sitting next to somebody you don't know, introduce yourself first and then cozy up. Because it's just too cold for us not to have people to cozy up with. So, if you need a blanket, raise your hand. We can get you a blanket. And if you need something more than that, shepherds. You keep an eye on those sheep. Cozy up with them for a little while. We have a story that we are wanting to share with you. This is a true story, the best kind. This is a story about God's love for us. And this story started before the dawn of time and continues all the way through today. But don't worry, we're not going to cover all of that tonight. We're going to focus on one little part. And this is the part where one of the ways that God chose to show his love for us is that he decided to come here and be one of us. Which seems kind of crazy to me, but that's exactly what God decided to do. And when he decided to do that, he didn't do it the way you would expect God to do it. He didn't come as a great world leader. He didn't come as a mighty hero. He didn't even come as a great teacher or a poet. When God decided he was going to come here as one of us, he started out the same way you and I do, as a helpless little baby. Blows my mind. But I'm going to ask you guys to come with me as we take a little bit of a journey back many centuries ago to a seemingly insignificant little village called Bethlehem. Can you see it? No, you gotta imagine really good. Because over here, right over there, that's the bakery. Do you like bread? Because they make bread over there. Can you smell it? Take a deep breath. Can you smell that bread? Yeah, and over here, that's the home of the woman who makes most of the cloth for the people in the village. You can stop by and pick up some on your way out if you like. If you look down that way, you might see a light on in one of the windows. That's the potter's shop. The potter likes to work kind of late. Now over here, we have the local inn. Very, very busy these days. And there's the local innkeeper. A lot of people coming and going in Bethlehem these days. Very loud and kind of hectic in there. It's much quieter out here in the stable. But I'll tell you, it doesn't smell so good. Now over here, these are the hills just outside of Bethlehem. It's where all the wild things are. Wolves, foxes, bears, and shepherds. Now over this way, you might be able to see a young man and his fiancée who are even now making their way into Bethlehem. For you see, a decree has gone out from Caesar Augustus himself that all of those under the rule of the Roman Empire are needing to be taxed. And so this young man, Joseph, is coming along with Mary, his wife-to-be, who, I should hasten to add, also happens to be about 9 months pregnant. Now, traveling in those days wasn't good under the best of circumstances, but traveling while pregnant had to be horrible. And to make matters worse, they're coming into a town that is full to overflowing. They aren't going to find a single room available at the local inn. So you know where they're going to end up having their baby? Right here, in the stable, with nothing more than a cold and dirty manger in which to lay their newborn son. Seems incredible, doesn't it? How far is God willing to go in order to prove to us that he loves us? Let's watch and see.
O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lowly exile until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
Such a simple yet amazingly beautiful picture, isn't it? But wait, there's more. You remember those hills I was telling you about? Well, it just so happens on the very night that this baby was being born that there were some shepherds out in those hills attending to their sheep. And get this, all of a sudden out of nowhere an angel appears, as bright as day, with the glory of the Lord shining on her. I don't need to tell you that those shepherds were terrified. And then the angel says, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, which will be for everyone. For today, in the city of David, a Savior has been born to you, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be the sign that what I'm telling you is the truth. You will find a baby wrapped in strips of cloth and lying in a manger."
Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
When the angels had returned to heaven, the shepherds decided to make their way into Bethlehem in order to find this baby that the angel had told them about. They came with great haste and enthusiasm, eager to share the good news of all they had seen and heard with everyone that they met along the way. And when they found the baby, just as the angel had said they would, they bowed down and worshipped him.
Let your fingers and feel us, tender ground prepare for them. Tiny heart, whose blood will save us, unto us is born. Unto us is born.
Now God intended that the gift of his Son would be for everyone. And so he brought another group from very far away to join in this beautiful story of love. Wise men, traveling from the east, came many miles as they followed a new and brilliant star. Perhaps you can see them as they rise up over the hill on their way into Bethlehem. They come seeking the King of the Jews. And they are bringing with them gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. These they will offer to this holy child as they too bow down and worship him. Such worship for a baby? Ah, but this is no ordinary baby. This is Jesus, who is also called Emmanuel, which means God with us. God, who left the beauty and the majesty of heaven in order to come down here and be one of us, so that we would know just how much he loves us. This is a God truly worthy of my adoration. Well, friends, our time is up, so we will be sharing this again at 8:30 for our last time this year, if you care to join us. But whether you join us or not, the impact of this event is far from over. What started out in the manger continued throughout Jesus' life, until as a man he willingly allowed himself to be killed on a Roman cross to pay the price for all that we had done wrong. Greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. It is this love and the hope and the joy that it brings that we hope will fill your hearts and your homes this Christmas season. On behalf of all of us, I would like to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, and thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming on the call.